What if the unbreakable bond between the two princes was never truly unbreakable? What if every public smile, every shared balcony wave, concealed a slow-burning betrayal that began years before the world ever heard the name Meghan? Sources deep inside the royal households whisper that William, the future king, has executed a masterstroke so calculated, so devastating, that it rewrites everything we thought we knew about the rift with Harry. This is not a family quarrel. This is not a misunderstanding amplified by the press. This is a deliberate, cold-blooded maneuver that leaves one brother isolated forever, and the architect is the one everyone trusted to protect him. The silent fracture nobody saw coming. Late one rain-soaked evening in October 2022, in a discreet annex of Kensington Palace rarely used for official business, William met privately with three individuals whose names have never appeared in any court circular. The meeting lasted exactly 73 minutes. No aides were present. Phones were left outside. What was discussed that night has only now surfaced through encrypted messages recovered from a burner phone abandoned in a Thameside hotel. The words are chilling. It must look like his choice. The door has to close from the inside. William reportedly nodded once, then added, "He will never forgive me, but history will thank me." The first hidden truth is this. The narrative of Harry fleeing an intolerant institution was carefully seeded months in advance. Palace communications strategists, acting on instructions that traced directly to William's private office, began placing subtle briefings in friendly newspapers suggesting the Sussexes were unhappy and seeking freedom. Harry, thousands of miles away in California, believed these stories were hostile leaks designed to undermine him. In reality, they were the opening act of a plan to make his departure appear entirely self-inflicted. Whispers from a former equerry reveal the second shock. William personally approved the withholding of key security intelligence from Harry during the final Sandringham summit. Details of credible threats against the couple were downplayed in briefings Harry received, creating the impression that the family, and the institution, no longer considered his safety a priority. One attendee recalls William's quiet aside to an aide as Harry left the room, "Let him feel the cold." The goal, according to the source, was to push Harry toward the irreversible decision to relinquish his Her Royal Highness status and police protection, believing he had no alternative. But the deepest cut came earlier, in the spring of 2021. A clandestine recording, obtained through channels that cannot be disclosed, captures William in conversation with a senior royal courtier. The topic: the Archewell Foundation. William allegedly instructed that certain charitable networks quietly distance themselves from Harry's initiatives, ensuring partnerships evaporated without explanation. When Harry later complained publicly about lack of support, he was portrayed as paranoid, yet the withdrawal of cooperation was orchestrated from within his own brother's circle. These revelations paint a portrait not of fraternal drift, but of surgical estrangement. Every step was designed to leave Harry outside the gates, convinced the rejection came from everyone except the one person truly pulling the strings. The Midnight Covenant. January 2024. A private members' club beneath a Georgian townhouse in Mayfair. Dimly lit, soundproofed, invitation only. At a corner table screened by heavy velvet curtains, William meets a figure known only as the intermediary. The purpose? To finalize the mechanism that will ensure Harry can never fully return, even if sentiment shifts in future decades. The intermediary slides a slim folder across the table. Inside, draft clauses for potential future amendments to the letters patent governing royal succession and titles. One clause, buried in legal language, would allow the sovereign to remove titles from any member who has permanently relocated outside the realm and ceased public duties, retroactive if necessary. William studies the document for several minutes in silence. Finally he speaks, "It must appear to come from father when the time is right. Not from me." The intermediary nods. They toast with mineral water. No cameras. No minutes. Later that same night, in a separate location, a trusted confidant of Harry receives an anonymous package. It contains partial transcripts of the Kensington Annex meeting and fragments of the burner phone messages. The sender's motive remains unclear, perhaps an act of conscience, perhaps a calculated leak to force confrontation. The confidant hesitates for weeks before passing selected excerpts to Harry in Montecito. His reaction, according to someone who witnessed it, was not rage but a hollow, disbelieving silence that lasted hours. By spring 2024, Harry begins making cautious inquiries through back channels, trying to verify the fragments. Each inquiry is carefully monitored. Responses are delayed, sources dry up, doors close politely but firmly. The trap tightens. Harry is left holding pieces of a puzzle that point unmistakably to his brother, yet lack the final proof that would justify public accusation. He is checkmated by doubt. Meanwhile, William continues to project public warmth whenever Harry's name arises in interviews. "I love my brother. I miss him every day." The words are delivered with convincing emotion. Only a handful of people know they serve as the perfect camouflage for the irreversible distance he has engineered. The masterstroke is nearly complete. One final element remains, a gesture so publicly generous that it will silence critics and cement the narrative of William as the wounded, forgiving elder brother. Plans for that gesture are already in motion. But nothing is ever truly buried forever. The abandoned burner phone has resurfaced. More messages are being decrypted. And someone very close to the heart of the palace is preparing to speak. The fracture is no longer silent. The gesture that buries the truth forever. You think you know the final move? You think the public olive branch is coming, a heartfelt invitation, perhaps a joint appearance to heal the rift? Forget everything you assumed. The masterstroke's true climax is not reconciliation. It is annihilation disguised as mercy. Insiders now reveal that William's ultimate play, executed in the shadows of late 2025, was to orchestrate an event so emotionally charged, so perfectly timed, that it would force Harry into permanent silence, not through threats, but through unbreakable guilt. November 2025. A fog-shrouded morning at Windsor. William convenes a secret gathering in the private apartments of the late Queen's former residence. Present, select members of the royal medical team, 2 trusted courtiers, and a discreet communications advisor. The topic is classified even within palace walls. Leaked minutes from this meeting, obtained via a secure drop in a London underground station, expose the plan: stage a health crisis severe enough to draw Harry back across the Atlantic, but controlled enough to avoid real danger. The goal: capture images of the brothers together at the bedside, images that would flood global media with headlines of reunion and forgiveness. But the shock deepens. The crisis was never intended for the king. Sources confirm William volunteered himself as the patient. A carefully managed episode, diagnosed publicly as stress-related exhaustion, privately induced through calculated sleep deprivation and medical oversight. Harry, alerted through unofficial channels hinting at imminent risk, boards a private flight within hours. He arrives unannounced, face etched with fear, only to find William pale but stable, surrounded by family. The embrace is photographed through a half-open door by an embedded royal photographer, positioned in advance. The image explodes worldwide, 2 brothers locked in reconciliation, tears visible. Commentators hail William's vulnerability for bringing Harry home. Polls shift overnight. The narrative flips irreversibly, Harry as the prodigal, William as the steadfast savior who nearly sacrificed his health for family unity. Yet the hidden truth is darker. During that bedside vigil, alone for 15 minutes while others stepped out, William whispers to Harry the words that seal the trap: "I did this for you. To give you a way back without losing face. Now you know what I'm willing to do for us." Harry, overwhelmed, believes it, believes his brother staged the crisis out of desperate love. He agrees to a joint statement expressing mutual regret and future privacy. In that moment, the fragments of evidence Harry held, the transcripts, the messages, become unusable. How could he ever expose them now, without appearing monstrously ungrateful? The intermediary from the Mayfair meeting resurfaces in December 2025. A final encrypted exchange confirms the clauses discussed years earlier are quietly inserted into pending succession legislation, buried in unrelated bills passing through Parliament. With Harry's public return and statement, opposition evaporates. The titles remain safe, for now, but the mechanism is armed, ready if Harry ever steps out of line again. One source, a palace insider who witnessed Harry's departure from Windsor, describes his final words to William: "Thank you for bringing me back. The tone was gratitude mixed with something broken. Harry flies home to California carrying the weight of a debt he can never repay, a debt manufactured to keep him silent. But the greatest revelation emerges only days ago. The anonymous sender of the original package has come forward through intermediaries. Their identity, not a disgruntled staffer, not a conscience-stricken aide. It was William himself who orchestrated the leaks to Harry's confidant, timed perfectly to heighten suspicion, then resolved by the staged crisis. The doubt was always meant to be dispelled by the gesture, leaving Harry convinced of his brother's sacrifice while the real power shift occurred unseen. Everything changes now. The world sees healed brothers. Harry sees a loving martyr. Only a vanishing few know the truth. William's masterstroke was never estrangement alone. It was total control, achieved through the illusion of redemption. Harry is bound not by walls, but by gratitude to a betrayal he can never name. The palace remains silent. The images endure. And the future king has secured his legacy, at the cost of a brother's soul. This is the uncovered truth they hoped would stay buried.